Hi, I'm Ken Gutman, Superintendent of Walled Lake Schools. We are well into the second semester and our elementary students have participated in spelling and geography bees and jump rope for heart. March's Reading Month activities are planned. Of course, every month is Reading Month in Walled Lake Schools, where students are encouraged to read and discuss literature at every grade level. Our middle school students at Geisler and Banks are more than halfway through their religious journeys, and Walnut Creek recently hosted the moving Black History Month exhibit. At our February board meeting, the board thanked and recognized Mr. Jay Levine, who donated a new gym floor at Walled Lake Central. Mr. Levine's $25,000 gift demonstrates the generosity prevalent throughout our community. At the Walled Lake Western Pinkout basketball game, the Warriors for Warriors Committee gave the Susan G. Komen Foundation, the American Cancer Society, and the St. Baldrick's Foundation each a check for $15,000. The Walled Lake Northern School community gave $7,000 to the American Cancer Society at a recent hockey game. Our community continually reaches out to support the schools, and the schools do the same by supporting organizations that benefit our community. Our community supported our Safety, Security, and Technology Bond a couple of years ago, and we are committed to completing its implementation. Today, I have Steve Smith of TMP Architecture and Steve Robbins of AUK Construction with me to discuss the importance of this bond and its implementation. Hi, Steve. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
I know that TMP Architects has built 7 extremely well-designed and functional schools within our district and has put additions on probably the remainder of the schools in our district or done some work there.
That's true.
As your team designs each building, and actually specifically as you design each of our new entrances at our schools, what are your priorities for functionality?
Well, when you look at things like the entrances to the schools, it's really a whole comprehensive pile of things that have to be taken into account. First off, it isn't just the entrance that you're looking at. You have to look at the entire perimeter of the building because the perimeter needs to be secured or a control point at entry doesn't make any sense. And you have to think of things like the schedule, arrival and dismissal time. You want to make sure that the whole thing functions seamlessly for kids coming in and out of the building, for parents who are dropping kids off and picking them up. And when you begin to look at all of the security issues, what you want to do is make sure that you have taken into account all those multiple issues. Then what you want to do is make sure that the one spot that people come in is where you want them to come in. So from a security standpoint, it's not just as easy as doing a single entrance.
Sure. Now, I know the TMP Architects work is not done once the design is accepted and approved.
Right.
Yeah, I know you work collaboratively with AUK Construction and with many other vendors to make sure that the design and integrity of the process is fulfilled.
Right.
How does your company do that? And what role does your company play in ensuring that Walled Lake Schools receives the best possible outcome in these huge projects?
Yeah, well, one thing that's important is that it's a collaborative effort. There's a quite sizable team of people that are involved in an architectural project. And when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you stay in touch with the district and talk to all the people who are stakeholders. And you also talk to the construction manager so that you can coordinate that triangle of design, construct, and occupy in a way that makes sense for everyone. And then you follow it all the way through. From day one, when we're told that there's a need, we try to stick with it and listen to everything that everyone on the team, including the school district, says, and follow it all the way through. So we cooperate in the bidding, in the construction, by showing up on the site regularly. And what you try to do is avoid problems by not having them come up.
And I'll tell you, your communication with us has been really strong, and we've appreciated that as well.
Thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere.
Well, but it's true. I wouldn't say it otherwise, especially on camera. So together we completed phase 1, phase 2, and now phase 3 is in full swing. And there are so many projects from our Safety, Security, and Technology Bond, and often sinking projects such as carpet and roofs, also done simultaneously. Right. How does your team at TMP interface with us and AUK and all the vendors working on these projects?
Well, we all stay very anxious so you don't have to. And there are so many pieces and parts in the security, technology, bond issue, along with the sinking fund things, that there's a lot to keep track of. And so the architectural team and the construction management team are constantly touching base. And we have weekly meetings with the district's operations department to make sure that things stay on track. And again, if you keep track of things regularly, you can guide them where they need to go. And we've never missed the opening of school, and we don't intend to.
Well, we'll hold you to that in the fall, that is for sure.
All right.
You know, as I noted earlier, TMP and you specifically, Steve, have worked with the district for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
How are the relationships we've built as a district and an architectural firm, how have those benefited our community and our district?
Wow. Well, when you think of how long we've been in the district, we know a lot about your buildings. In fact, we may have been here longer than just about anybody else who deals with the buildings regularly. That institutional knowledge makes it very effective and efficient to take care of things that come up, to design things when they're needed. And our familiarity with the district and its culture also makes it very efficient. And I think the collaborative relationship between TMP Architecture, the Walled Lake Consolidated Schools, and George W. Auk Company has really created a critical mass of effectiveness, which gives you the best potential buildings at the best possible pricing on schedules that are reliable.
Great, great. So what else does our community need to know about the bond project or your company's commitment to make sure these are the best projects ever done?
Well, make sure that everybody knows that we're there, we listen, you can talk to us. If anything is going on or other needs arise, just give us a call because we're only a phone call away.
Excellent. Steve, I really appreciate you being here today. I appreciate your commitment to the district and look forward to us opening school on time next year with all of our multiple projects. Thank you so much. The Auk construction team has been working with Walled Lake Schools also for more than 20 years. Auk Construction has brought the TMP architectural plans to life time and time again. Today I have Steve Robbins, Auk Project Manager on the Walled Lake School Safety, Security, and Technology Bond to discuss the work that continues in Phase 3 of this huge project. How is the work that you're doing on our Safety, Security, and Technology Bond different from the work you've done here on our other projects within Walled Lake Schools?
The 2014 bond program has approximately 35% of the work dedicated to technology and security systems, where in the past this would have been less than 5% of the work that Auk would perform. Most of the bond work that is visible consists of small additions and renovations to the existing spaces. A large portion of the work is infrastructure work that the building user and public may never notice. These are items such as the HVAC controls, fire alarm systems, public address systems, emergency power and lighting systems, and all the work in the background or are there if they are needed to make Walled Lake's buildings safer and more secure. Walled Lake Schools now has one of the largest card access and security video management systems for a school district in the state of Michigan, with over 3,500 controlled doors and over 1,400 video cameras planned at the district at completion. Our card access vendor has even stated that we have one of the largest installations of theirs of this type in the country. We find that the technology work is less forgiving than your typical bricks and mortars construction. The new technology either works or it doesn't, and there's very little room in the middle. One challenge we encounter, and is indicative of implementing technology, is that technology is constantly evolving, and it takes a large effort on Auk's, TMP's, and the Walled Lake staff's part to stay current with the products, installations, and the user's implementations. Much of Walled Lake's installations are using new state-of-the-art technology and implementing at a much larger scale than most other districts.
So Auk Construction, I know, consults with a lot of outside vendors on these safety, security, and technology projects. Steve, can you talk about how the workflow is streamlined so everyone knows what's happening on a project at any given time? I mean, basically, what's the meeting schedule like? How's the work parceled out so we're not disrupting education to the greatest degree possible?
We have a weekly project meeting with the team, which would consist of TMP, Walled Lake staff, operations, and ourselves. As needed, additional consultants or representatives of different departments within Walled Lake will attend the meetings to provide input to the projects as they move forward. We have weekly contractors meetings allowing our field staff and project management team to coordinate with the installing contractors the upcoming activities for the project. All work during the school year is performed off hours, and our field staff has managed the vendors so that trades work through the building in a logical order, and that we have trades in the buildings at one time so that they are not spread out too much and can control the work. This is typically 3 to 6 buildings at a time. We are typically working with 40 to 70 tradespersons on a given night and over 100 tradespersons during the summer months, and we have to do this without being noticed. AUK's field staff coordinates with building administration daily to coordinate around school events, and we adjust our work schedule accordingly. At the end of each night's work, AUK's field staff sends an updated report of completed and scheduled activities for each building to the operations department, the IT department, and to the affected school administrations. As we complete these new systems or new technology, AUK does not cut anything over until the system is complete and functioning. This ensures little to no inconvenience or downtime for the building occupants. We also support the cutovers with staff at the beginning of the school day to make sure there are no issues.
It's a lot of work, a lot of people in the district at any given time. We appreciate that we're still making sure that we can keep education going in the classrooms. It's hard to do that during the school year. So what is AUK's philosophy about multi-year projects where the goal is to ensure the community, all of the district schools and buildings have the same security and technology systems, right? So one's not better than the other. And how do you make sure the new entrances are all equal but suitable for a particular school?
Well, each building has its own unique qualities, and an extensive plan was prepared by the team based upon all the assessments of each building and a budget allocation to meet the needs of each building and the goals of Walled Lake Schools. Each building was designed according to this plan, and its design is intended to maintain a commonality in the systems and the operations across all of the buildings in the district. And then based upon the district's priorities, each building and system was scheduled and the execution plan for the entirety of the bond program. We are currently working on Phase 3 facilities consisting of Sarah Banks, Walnut Creek, Glengarry, Wixom, Walled Lake L, Western High School, the Operations and Maintenance, and the ESC Data Center. And next year, we will be completing the bond with Phase 4 facilities, Northern High School Outdoor Ed Center, and the Community Ed Center. And I would like to note that we are about 6 months ahead of schedule right now in implementing the card access and security video management system because we've been allowed to work in the evenings to get all of these systems up and running.
And that's great to hear. I want you to know Steve Smith has promised we'll open school on time in the fall.
We will.
A little pressure for you, but I'm sure
will.
you can handle it. Good, good. So you and your company have worked with our district and TMP for a long time. How are the relationships we've forged among you and TMP and the school district beneficial for our community and for our school district?
Well, we have found that AUK's and TMP's shared knowledge of Walled Lake's buildings has been extremely useful for the design and installation of the new work in these existing spaces. We jointly remember many of the nuances of the sites and construction, which assists in planning and designing the work to be performed. And having worked in the district for many years, this team is very much in tune with the needs of the district and how to operate while the school is in operation.
Great, great. So what else does our community, what do our parents, what does our staff need to know about you or your company or the bond project or any kind of commitment you want to make to our district? I mean, what else do we need to know about this?
Well, the project team has established a level of trust, integrity, and knowledge of each other's expectations, and many of the members of this team have been working for the last 20 years, or at least they're available to us. And that knowing that we are in a long-term relationship with all these people and will be working on these buildings in the future, it only makes us want to do a better job. This is AUK's legacy as well as Walled Lake Schools. This plan is constantly evolving and changing throughout the process based upon input of different users, and it requires a project team to remain fully engaged throughout the entire process. So things will continue to evolve as we go through, but right now we see everything in order for having you ready in a couple of years.
Steve, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your commitment. I want to thank the entire AUK team. You're doing great things for our district, providing safety, security, and technology for students and staff who so richly deserve it. And above all else, just thank you for your partnership on behalf of our children.
Well, thank you very much. And at the company, we appreciate everything that you have done for us as well.
Now I'm excited to switch gears and have you meet Josh King, Walled Lake Central graduate who has overcome some challenges and now lives an independent life. Josh attends Schoolcraft College, drives a car, and is with me today to talk about his experiences in Walled Lake schools and his current accomplishments. Josh, thank you so much for coming in today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Gottman, for inviting me. I'm really excited.
Well, I'm really excited that you're here. So I know you attended Walnut Creek, and then you attended Walled Lake Central High School.
Yes.
Tell us about your experiences in Walled Lake schools.
I have first attended Pleasant Lake when I was in the 5th grade.
Okay.
But yes, I have attended Walnut Creek and Walled Lake Central. What it is that I was able to build new experiences, like make new friends and start to get appropriate behaviors sorted out for me. I mean, it feels like a whole new world that I've been entering in. And then there was Bob Bilecki. He helped me with a lot of things. He got me into the Blue Tigers. And he got me into his ASD classroom and his SNAPS program. What it was doing is that it was helping people with autism reach out to people who need friends and were able to build connections with each other. And then at Walled Lake Central, I had tons of support there. I was in a resource room with Miss Miller, and I also had a counselor with Mrs. McClatchy. And while I was there, I had behaviors that Bob and I haven't gotten through just yet. Like, I was still a little immature, but I was able to get around those behaviors.
So Josh, what do you like best, or what did you like best about attending Walled Lake schools?
What I liked the best is how I was able to build connections with other people, and also I was able to express my talents. Like I do music. I was able to perform into their plays and musicals. In Walnut Creek, I played in the 6th grade Annie, 7th grade Fiddler on the Roof, and 8th grade Guys and Dolls. And then at Walled Lake Central, I played Seussical, Beauty and the Beast, The Music Man, and finally Hairspray. But what I like about those musical experiences is that I'm not just able to get to know friends. Like I get to know the right people, the people that I can trust, to be close to me. Not just far away close, but to be close to me, like to be there to me, always be there on my side whenever I need emotional support. One of the best things that I've learned was that if you ever put your mind into things, you can always succeed, and you can always achieve your goals. That's one of the things that I've learned from Bob Bilecki is that you can always reach a goal. Just you have to put your mind into it. Don't just assume that you're just gonna make it because you're so confident. You have to know if you're serious.
Who helped you the most? I think I know your answer, but who helped and guided you the most when you were in Walled Lake schools?
I have to admit it was Bob. Bob and I go way back. See what he has done is that he's given me lots of things to do outside of school. We also went to a recording studio down in Detroit, which some artists I don't know if you're familiar with Eminem, Kid Rock. That's the studio that they used to perform in back in Ferndale. We recorded a series of songs, including one of the songs that I have written for the Blue Tigers, "Calm Down." That song was about me trying to reflect my ways of getting myself, like, whenever I'm like stressed out, and I mean, like, I just cannot do it, and I just need time to think. See, it all started when Bob Ilecki tried to make me write a paragraph, and little I know, he tried to make me write a paragraph, and then it was I had to write a paragraph, but it just wasn't like I just wasn't ready to write like such a paragraph, and then he switched gears and then told me to write a song, and I did.
Sure. And obviously you're still writing now.
Yes, I'm still writing songs.
So I know you write songs, you work, you take college classes, you drive your own car, and you enjoy performing in a band.
Absolutely.
What else do you like to do? Maybe fishing?
Yes. I also like to play video games.
Okay, what do you like to play?
Number one, Super Smash Brothers.
Okay.
That's my number
All right.
one on the list.
You've overcome some challenges and you've done very well for yourself. What advice do you have for other students who may be dealing with challenges?
I would like to say that no matter who you are, regardless of what your situation is, you always have a chance to achieve your goal. See, the best thing that Wallach has brought to me is that you never give up. You're always, there's always hope for you, no matter where you go, or no matter how much it just feels like, oh, school is too hard for me. I just don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm having family issues and everything, but the number one thing it has taught me is that you can still be an inspiration. There's always open doors for you to be on TV, on the air. Perform in a musical, go into like outdoor clubs and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, Josh. You're an inspiration. I appreciate you sharing your wisdom with us today. We couldn't be more proud of you as a school district. And I just want to thank you for spending some time with me.
Yes, I thank you as well, Mr. Gottman.
You bet. Thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
You too. Next, I want to invite you to our annual PTSA Reflections event on Monday, March 28th at Walnut Creek Middle School. It is always a terrific evening of inspiration from our students. I hope to see you there. Our Walled Lake Northern students are embarking on the production of Miss Saigon, the first time this challenging play, by the same authors as Les Mis, has been performed in our district. It runs for 2 weekends, February 26th through the 28th and March 4th through the 6th. I also want to personally congratulate our senior student athletes from Walled Lake Northern and Walled Lake Western who signed letters of intent to attend many universities to play college-level sports and pursue their academic careers. Walled Lake Central will be announcing its student signings in the spring. There is always so much happening in all of our schools. Please make sure you read the district parent updates, your school newsletters, and access the district website. I know you can stay up to date on a daily basis by accessing the district Facebook and Twitter pages. Thank you for your partnership on behalf of our children. At Walled Lake Schools, we care about every child, and we promise to continue to educate every child, every day.